Please remove that woman from the front row, Adaeze said, pointing towards the entrance. She is dressed like kitchen staff, and our important guests are already arriving. The wedding hall became silent. Kelechi slowly turned towards his bride. His face lost all color. That woman, he said, his voice shaking, is my mother. Mama Nkiru stood at the entrance in her faded catering uniform, holding a small blue envelope against her chest. She did not defend herself. She simply looked at her son and asked, "Should I leave?" Before we discover how a joyful wedding reached such a painful moment, tell us where you are listening from today. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. And should this story remind you of something you have experienced, you are welcome to share it. Someone listening may learn from your courage. 3 hours before the humiliation, the Grand Pearl Hotel in Lagos looked like a palace. White flowers covered the entrance. Golden lights hung from the ceiling. A live band tested its instruments beside a stage, decorated with the names Kelechi and Adaeze. Guests arrived in expensive clothes, greeting one another with wide smiles. Then an old yellow taxi stopped beside the hotel. Mama Nkiru stepped out. She was 61, small and tired-looking. She wore a brown catering uniform, flat black shoes, and a simple headscarf. Flour marked one sleeve, and a tiny burn had damaged the edge of her apron. She paid the driver and carefully removed a covered food tray from the back seat. Inside her handbag was the blue envelope she had carried for 23 years. At the hotel entrance, a security guard blocked her. "The workers' entrance is behind the building, Mama," he said. "I am not one of the hotel workers," she replied politely. "I am the groom's mother." The guard looked at her again, unsure whether to believe her. Before he could answer, Kelechi's younger sister, Chinasa, hurried towards them. "Mama," she cried, "why are you dressed like this?" Mama Nkiru forced a smile. "One of my customers had an emergency order this morning. I finished late. You should have called me. And disturb you on your brother's wedding day." Chinasa took the tray from her. "What is inside?" "Your brother's favorite coconut cake. I promised him I would make it myself." As they entered the hotel, guests stared at Mama Nkiru. Some assumed she was a cook. Others stepped aside as though she did not belong among them. Mama Nkiru noticed every look, but she kept walking. She had endured worse things for her children. What she did not know was that Adaeze's family had already given the hotel staff special instructions concerning her. Upstairs, Adaeze stood before a large mirror, while 3 women adjusted her white wedding gown. She was 29, beautiful and carefully composed. Every detail had been planned, from the imported flowers to the way she would hold Kelechi's hand during the photographs. Her mother, Mrs. Ijoma Nwankwo, entered the room without knocking. "She has arrived," she announced. Adaeze did not turn around. "Who?" "His mother." The room became quiet. Mrs. Ijoma walked closer and lowered her voice. She came in a catering uniform. Adaeze closed her eyes. "Today of all days." "I warned you," her mother said. "People never completely escape where they come from." Adaeze's best friend Ebi looked uncomfortable. "She is still Kelechi's mother." "No one said she is not," Mrs. Ijoma replied. "But must she stand in every photograph looking like she came to wash plates?" Adaeze stared at herself in the mirror. She loved Kelechi. He was gentle, intelligent, and loyal. But she had also spent years trying to satisfy her mother and the wealthy people who surrounded their family. She knew how quickly Lagos society could turn someone's wedding into a joke. Finally, she called the head photographer. "Please focus on the couple and my immediate family," she said. The photographer hesitated. "What about the groom's family?" "Take a few photographs," Adaeze answered. "But do not place his mother at the center." Ebi stared at her. "Adaeze, does Kelechi know about this? He does not need to know every small decision." Her voice sounded firm, but her hands were trembling. Outside the room, Somto, Adaeze's 19-year-old cousin, had heard everything. He stepped away from the door before anyone saw him. For the first time, he wondered whether this wedding was truly about love or merely about creating the perfect picture. The wedding had cost more than Kelechi earned in 2 years. Adaeze's father, Chief Obina Nwankwo, had insisted on paying for almost everything. He owned hotels, transport companies, and several properties across Lagos and Abuja. To him, the wedding was not only a family celebration, it was a public display of success. Politicians, business owners, and social figures filled the guest list. Some had never met the bride or groom. Kelechi had originally wanted a smaller ceremony, a church service, good food, and the people we truly love, he had told Adaeze. But Adaeze had laughed gently. My mother would never survive that. Kelechi had agreed to the larger wedding because he did not want to create tension before their marriage began. That had always been his mistake. He believed silence could protect love. On the wedding morning, Kelechi stood in a private room with his best man, Toby, adjusting his suit. Your mother is downstairs, Toby said. Kelechi smiled. Has she changed into the green dress Chinasa bought for her? Toby did not answer immediately. Kelechi, there is something strange happening. What do you mean? I heard one of the coordinators say, your mother has been assigned a seat near the back. Kelechi stopped adjusting his tie. That must be a mistake. I also heard that the photographers were told not to include her in most pictures. Kelechi stared at Toby. Who gave that instruction? I do not know. But deep inside, Kelechi already suspected the answer. For months, Mrs. Ijoma had made small comments about Mama Nkiru's grammar, clothes, and catering business. Kelechi had ignored each one. He told himself she needed time to accept him. Now, on the most important day of his life, his silence had followed him into the wedding hall. And this time, it was waiting for his mother. Mama Nkiru had not always been a caterer. Years earlier, she had worked as an accounts clerk for a small construction company in Enugu. She had been educated, confident, and known for wearing bright dresses. Then her husband died, when Kelechi was 9. The deaths came quickly. Relatives who had promised to help disappeared. The landlord demanded rent. School fees remained unpaid. Mama Nkiru sold her jewelry first. Then she sold her husband's car. When that money finished, she began cooking for construction workers and delivering food in large metal pots. Kelechi remembered waking before sunrise and finding her beside the stove, her eyes red from smoke. She never complained. Whenever he apologized for needing school books, she would touch his head and say, a child should never feel guilty because his mother is sacrificing. Years later, when Kelechi received admission to study architecture, Mama Nkiru sold the small piece of land her husband had left behind. She told everyone the land was useless, but Chinasa knew her mother sometimes visited it alone. On the wedding morning, Mama Nkiru entered a changing room and removed her stained apron. She opened the bag containing the green lace dress Chinasa had bought. Then she saw a message on her old phone. It was from an unknown number. You should not attend this wedding. Some doors are safer when they remain closed. Mama Nkiru read the message twice. Her hands began to shake. She opened her handbag and touched the faded blue envelope. Inside, it was something she had promised never to reveal. Not today, she whispered. Please, not today. A knock came at the door. When she opened it, Chief Obina Nwankwo was standing outside. The moment he saw the blue envelope in her hand, the powerful businessman stepped backwards. Chief Obina quickly looked along the corridor. What are you doing with that? He asked. Mama Nkiru placed the envelope back inside her bag. I carry it everywhere. You promised me it would remain hidden. And it has remained hidden for 23 years. Chief Obina lowered his voice. This is my daughter's wedding. It is also my son's wedding. For several seconds they stared at each other. Then Chief Obina spoke more softly. Nkiru, whatever happened between us belongs to the past. Mama Nkiru's expression changed. Some things may belong to the past, Obina. But their consequences are standing inside this hotel wearing expensive clothes. Before he could reply, footsteps approached. Chief Obina quickly left. Somto appeared at the end of the corridor. He had seen his uncle speaking to Mama Nkiru, but he had not heard their words. "Ma, do you know my uncle?" he asked. Mama Nkiru forced a smile. "We met a long time ago." Before Somto could ask another question, a wedding coordinator arrived. "Mama, your seat has been prepared," she said. She led Mama Nkiru into the hall and pointed towards a table close to the kitchen doors. The chairs around it were meant for drivers, assistants, and hotel workers. Mama Nkiru looked towards the front row, where a seat carried a small card reading, "Mother of the Groom." But the card had been placed beneath another chair. Someone had deliberately moved it. Upstairs, Adaeze was reviewing the final ceremony instructions. Her private rules were simple. Mama Nkiru would not join the main entrance procession, would not sit beside Adaeze's parents, and would only appear in one official photograph. Adaeze told herself these rules would prevent embarrassment. She did not know that Kelechi had just entered the hall. He saw the empty chair beside Adaeze's parents. Then he saw his mother sitting alone near the kitchen. For the first time that morning, the groom understood that this was not a seating mistake. It was a decision, and someone he loved had made it. Kelechi stood at the entrance of the hall, watching his mother sit alone near the kitchen doors. People moved around him, laughing and taking pictures, but their voices seemed far away. He walked towards the front row. Beside Adaeze's parents was an empty chair. A white card had been placed on it. Special guest Kelechi picked up the card. Underneath it, another card had been hidden. Mother of the Groom. His jaw tightened. Toby came closer. "Kelechi, do not cause a scene before the ceremony," he whispered. "A scene?" Kelechi asked. "My mother is sitting with drivers at my wedding." "I know. But let us find out what happened first." Kelechi walked to Mama Nkiru. She quickly stood when she saw him. "My son, you look handsome. Why are you sitting here?" She avoided his eyes. "It is only a chair." "No, Mama, it is not only a chair." Several guests turned towards them. Mama Nkiru placed her hand on his arm. "Please, today should be peaceful." Kelechi saw the fear in her face. It was the same expression she had worn years ago whenever a landlord knocked on their door. He hated it. "You are coming to the front with me." She shook her head. "Your bride may not like that." Kelechi froze. "What did you say?" Mama Nkiru immediately regretted her words. Before she could explain, Mrs. Ijoma approached them with a stiff smile. "Kelechi, the ceremony is about to begin." "Who moved my mother's seat?" Mrs. Ijoma's smile disappeared. "This is not the time. It became the time when someone decided my mother should be hidden." Adaeze's mother looked around at the watching guests. Then she leaned towards him. "Do not embarrass yourself over a seating arrangement." Kelechi stared at her. For years, he had avoided conflict to keep peace. But now he was beginning to understand that peace built on humiliation was not peace at all. Kelechi lifted his mother's handbag and took her hand. "You are sitting in the front row." Mrs. Ijoma stepped in front of them. "Kelechi, think carefully. I am thinking clearly for the first time. Important people are here. Do not turn your wedding into a family argument." "My mother is important." Mrs. Ijoma's face hardened. She arrived dressed like a caterer. Mama Nkiru lowered her eyes. Kelechi felt something painful rise inside him. "So that is the problem." "No one said she cannot attend," Mrs. Ijoma replied. "We simply want the ceremony to look organized." Toby moved closer, ready to stop the argument from growing. But before Kelechi could answer, Adaeze entered the hall with her bridesmaids. The music had not started yet. She was only checking the room before the formal entrance. When she saw Kelechi standing beside his mother, she stopped. Their eyes met. He held up the hidden card. "Did you know about this?" Adaeze looked towards her mother. That single glance gave him the answer. Kelechi's voice became quiet. You knew. Kelechi, please listen to me. Did you tell them to put my mother at the back? I only wanted to avoid confusion. What confusion? Adaeze glanced at Mama Nkiru's uniform. It was a small movement, but Kelechi noticed it. So you are ashamed of her? No, Adaeze said quickly. That is not what I mean. Then explain what you mean. Guests had begun gathering around them. Adaeze's breathing became faster. She had imagined every moment of the wedding, but not this one. Her mother whispered, Do not answer him here. Kelechi looked at his bride. I am not asking your mother. I am asking you. Adaeze opened her mouth, but no words came. In that silence, Mama Nkiru understood something painful. The bride did not hate her. She was simply more afraid of public judgment than she was afraid of hurting the man she claimed to love. Ebi pulled Adaeze into a small side room before the argument became worse. What are you doing? She asked. Adaeze pressed both hands against her face. I am trying to stop this wedding from becoming a joke. By humiliating Kelechi's mother, I did not plan to humiliate her. You told the photographer to avoid her. You removed her from the procession. You agreed to move her seat. Adaeze turned towards her friend. You do not understand my mother. No, Adaeze, you do not understand yourself. Adaeze stared at her. Ebi had been her friend since university. She had defended her through failed relationships, family pressure, and years of trying to please everyone. But today, Ebi looked disappointed. You love Kelechi, Ebi continued. But whenever your family looks down on him, you become silent. I have defended him many times. Only when it was private, Adaeze looked away. Outside the room, Somto had come to ask whether the ceremony should be delayed. He stopped when he heard Mrs. Ijoma's voice approaching. The problem is not just the uniform, Mrs. Ijoma told Chief Obina in the corridor. That woman knows too much. Chief Obina looked alarmed. Lower your voice. You should have stopped her from coming. She is the groom's mother. How could I do that? You found ways to solve bigger problems in the past. Somto moved closer to the door. What exactly does she know? Mrs. Ijoma asked. Chief Obina did not answer. Then she said something that made Somto's body go cold. If Kelechi ever discovers what his mother did for this family, this marriage may not survive the day. Somto quickly stepped behind a decorative curtain as Chief Obina walked away. His hands trembled. He had thought the conflict was about clothes, money, and pride. Now he realized the wedding was hiding something much older, and the blue envelope might contain the answer. Mama Nkiru returned to the changing room. Chinasa followed her and closed the door. Mama, why are you allowing them to treat you like this? I do not want to destroy your brother's happiness. They are already destroying it. Mama Nkiru removed the green lace dress from its bag. Her fingers moved slowly over the fabric. Chinasa noticed tears gathering in her eyes. Mama, I am fine. You are not. Mama Nkiru smiled, but her lips shook. When you have been poor for a long time, people think you do not feel shame. They think hardship has removed your heart. Chinasa sat beside her. You should tell Kelechi everything. No. He deserves to know what that family did. Mama Nkiru gripped the blue envelope inside her handbag. The truth will not only hurt them, it will hurt him too. You have protected everybody for 23 years. Who has protected you? Mama Nkiru looked at her daughter. That question reached deeper than all the insults she had received that morning. A knock sounded at the door. Somto entered. I am sorry, he said. I know this is not a good time. He looked at the handbag. Ma, what is inside the blue envelope? Mama Nkiru became still. Chinasa stood. Why are you asking? I heard my aunt and uncle talking. They said this marriage may not survive if Kelechi learns what Mama did for their family. Mama Nkiru's face lost color. You should forget what you heard. I cannot. Somto stepped closer. My uncle looked afraid of you. I have never seen him afraid of anyone. Mama Nkiru closed the handbag. Some truths arrive too late to bring justice. They only bring more pain. Somto looked into her eyes. Or maybe people call it pain because they are afraid of paying what they owe. The wedding coordinator announced that the ceremony would begin in 15 minutes. Guests returned to their seats, but tension had already spread through the hall. Mama Nkiru changed into the green lace dress. It was beautiful, but simple compared with the expensive outfits around her. Kelechi escorted her to the front row himself. This time, no one stopped them. Adaeze watched from the entrance. Kelechi did not smile at her. As Mama Nkiru sat down, an elderly man in a dark blue traditional outfit stared at her from across the aisle. His name was Chief Emeka Ude, a retired banker and one of the most respected guests at the wedding. He walked towards her slowly. Nkiru Eze, Mama Nkiru looked up. Her eyes widened. Chief Emeka. The people nearby became quiet. "You are alive," he said. Mrs. Ijoma heard him and turned sharply. Chief Obina moved towards them. "Emeka, the ceremony is about to begin." But the old man ignored him. He looked at Mama Nkiru with disbelief. "We searched for you after the company collapsed. I did not want to be found." Chief Emeka shook his head. "Obina told us you took the missing money and disappeared." Kelechi, who was standing nearby, heard every word. He looked at his mother. "What missing money?" Mama Nkiru stood quickly. "This is not the place." Chief Emeka frowned. "You mean your son does not know?" Chief Obina stepped between them. "That matter was settled years ago." "No," Chief Emeka replied. "It was buried years ago." The hall became silent again. Kelechi looked from Chief Obina to his mother. "Mama, what is he talking about?" Mama Nkiru held the blue envelope against her chest. Her eyes filled with tears. Before she could answer, Chief Emeka pointed at Chief Obina. "Your mother did not steal from that company, young man," he paused. "She took the blame for the person who did." Kelechi stared at Chief Emeka. "What do you mean she took the blame?" Chief Obina stepped forward. "Enough. This is a wedding, not a place for old accusations." Chief Emeka did not move. "Then perhaps you should have treated the woman who protected you with more respect." A low murmur spread through the hall. Adaeze walked closer, holding the side of her gown. "Daddy, what is happening?" Chief Obina looked at his daughter, but he could not answer. Mama Nkiru reached for Kelechi's hand. "My son, please let the ceremony continue." "No, Mama." His voice was calm, but his eyes were full of pain. "For years, you taught me never to build anything on a weak foundation. Yet you allowed me to enter this marriage without knowing the truth." Mama Nkiru looked down. Chief Emeka turned to Kelechi. "Your mother worked in the accounts department of a construction company. One day, a large amount of money disappeared. The evidence pointed towards her." "And it was not her?" Kelechi asked. "No." Chief Obina's face became hard. "You have no right to tell this story." Chief Emeka laughed without joy. "I have every right. I was the bank officer who investigated the missing funds." Kelechi looked at his mother. "Who took the money?" Mama Nkiru remained silent. Chief Emeka continued. "Your mother signed a confession. She lost her job, her name, and every chance of finding respectable work." Chinasa began to cry quietly. Kelechi's voice broke. "Why would you do that?" Mama Nkiru finally looked at him. "Because I needed something in return." The words shocked him. Chief Emeka nodded sadly. The person responsible paid for Kelechi's secondary school fees and later helped secure the scholarship that sent him to university. Kelechi stepped backwards. The education he had believed came from his mother's cooking and sacrifice had another hidden price. His future had been purchased with her disgrace. Mrs. Ijoma rushed towards Mama Nkiru. "You have achieved what you wanted," she said quietly. "Everyone is watching us." Mama Nkiru stared at her. "What exactly do you believe I wanted?" "To shame this family." A bitter smile crossed Mama Nkiru's face. "I came with a cake for my son." Chief Obina called the wedding coordinator. "Take the guests outside for refreshments. We need a private family discussion." But the guests refused to move. Too much had already been revealed. Several people held their phones, but Toby quickly instructed the security officers to stop anyone from recording. Kelechi did not want his mother's pain turned into entertainment. Adaeze approached her father. "Did you steal the money?" Chief Obina looked offended. "I built everything you see around you." "That is not an answer." Mrs. Ijoma grabbed Adaeze's arm. "Do not question your father in public." Adaeze pulled away. "For years, you taught me to protect our family name. What exactly have I been protecting?" Chief Obina turned towards Mama Nkiru. "Nkiru, tell them the full truth." Mama Nkiru's eyes narrowed. "You want the full truth now? You were not forced to sign anything." Kelechi looked at him in disbelief. "You gave my mother a choice between destroying her own life and protecting mine. She accepted the agreement. Because she was a widow with 2 children." The force in Kelechi's voice made Adaeze flinch. Chief Obina lowered his tone. "I made mistakes, but I also kept my promise. Your school fees were paid. Your university application was supported. You became successful." Kelechi stared at him. "So I should thank you. You should understand that life is complicated." Mama Nkiru opened her handbag. "The complicated part is not that you stole." She removed the faded blue envelope. "The complicated part is what you did after I protected you." Chief Obina's face changed. He moved towards her. "Nkiru, do not open that." For the first time, everyone saw fear in the wealthy man's eyes. The band leader entered the hall, unaware of what had happened. "Sir, should we begin the bridal procession?" Everyone looked at Kelechi. The wedding was already 40 minutes late. The pastor waited near the decorated stage. Guests whispered from their seats. Adaeze stood in her white gown, her eyes swollen with tears. Kelechi looked at her. Despite everything, he still loved her. That was what made the moment so painful. He imagined walking towards the stage, saying his vows, and pretending the morning had not changed them. Then he looked at his mother. She had spent 23 years carrying shame so he could walk with dignity. Yet when she was humiliated, he had almost asked her to remain silent for the sake of peace. Kelechi removed the flower pinned to his suit. "The ceremony will not begin yet." A gasp passed through the hall. Adaeze stepped towards him. "Kelechi, please. I need the truth before I make a promise for the rest of my life." Her voice shook. "Are you ending the wedding?" "I do not know," Mrs. Ijoma whispered angrily. "Do you understand what this will do to Adaeze?" Kelechi turned towards her. "Did you understand what you were doing to my mother?" Adaeze began to cry. "I made a terrible mistake, but I did not know about the money." "This is no longer only about the money. What else is it about?" Kelechi held her gaze. "It is about what you do when the people around you decide someone is beneath them." Adaeze looked at Mama Nkiru. For the first time that day, she did not see a poorly dressed caterer. She saw a woman who had carried a secret, raised 2 children, and paid for someone else's comfort with her own name. "I am sorry," Adaeze whispered. Mama Nkiru gave no answer. Kelechi turned to his mother. "Open the envelope." Chief Obina moved forward, but Somto stepped between them. "Let her speak." Before Mama Nkiru could open the envelope, Kelechi raised his hand. "Wait." He turned towards Adaeze. "There is one thing I need to know first." Adaeze wiped her tears. "Ask me." Kelechi pointed towards the chair beside her parents. "If Chief Emeka had not recognized my mother, would you have allowed her to sit there?" Adaeze opened her mouth. Then she stopped. The hall became painfully quiet. Kelechi did not look angry. That frightened her more. "Please answer honestly," he said. Adaeze looked towards her mother. Mrs. Ijoma shook her head slightly, warning her. Then Adaeze looked at Mama Nkiru. She remembered the rules she had approved. No front row seat, no procession, only one photograph. "No," she whispered. Kelechi closed his eyes. Adaeze continued quickly. "I would have allowed her later, after the important guests left." Mama Nkiru's face tightened. Even Mrs. Ijoma looked embarrassed by the answer. Kelechi nodded slowly. So you were not ashamed only because of her clothes. Adaize's tears fell. I was afraid. Of what? That people would think I married below my family. The truth landed harder than an insult. Kelechi stepped backwards. Adaize reached for him. I know how terrible that sounds. It sounds terrible because it is true. I love you. Kelechi looked at her hand on his arm. Do you love me, or do you love the version of me that no longer looks poor? Adaize could not answer. Kelechi gently removed her hand. You wanted my success, my job, and my confidence, but you wanted to hide the woman who suffered to create them. Adaize looked around at the watching guests. All her life she had feared public shame. Now the perfect wedding she had built to impress people had become the place where everyone saw her worst weakness. Mrs. Ijoma pulled Adaize aside. You need to control this situation. Adaize looked at her mother in disbelief. Control it? Apologize privately, then continue the wedding. Kelechi may not want to continue. He will. Men calm down. Adaize stared at the woman who had shaped almost every decision in her life. What if he does not? Mrs. Ijoma lowered her voice. Then you must protect yourself. Do not kneel. Do not beg. Do not let these people make you look desperate. Adaize looked towards Kelechi. He stood beside his mother and sister. They did not look powerful or wealthy, but they stood together. For the first time, Adaize realized that her own family stood together only when their reputation was threatened. Her father was guarding a secret, her mother was guarding appearances, and Adaize had spent her life guarding their approval. She removed her mother's hand from her arm. No. Mrs. Ijoma blinked. What did you say? I will not protect our image anymore. Adaize walked to the center of the hall. She removed the expensive veil from her head and placed it on an empty chair. Then she faced Mama Nkiru. I was cruel to you, she said. Not because you did anything wrong, but because I was afraid people would judge me. Mrs. Ijoma called her name, but Adaize continued. I cannot ask Kelechi to marry me today, as though an apology will erase what I did. Kelechi watched her carefully. Adaize turned towards him. If you walk away, I will understand, but I will not lie anymore to save myself. Then Mama Nkiru opened the blue envelope. Inside was an old confession letter, a bank document, and a photograph of two young men standing beside a newly purchased construction truck. Chief Emeka took the photograph. His expression changed. This is not Obina, he said. Everyone turned towards him. Mama Nkiru nodded. No, Obina did not steal the money. Chief Obina lowered his head. Mama Nkiru pointed at the second man in the photograph. The thief was his older brother, the man who later became my husband. The hall became so quiet that the soft hum of the air conditioner sounded loud. Kelechi stared at the photograph. My father stole the money? Mama Nkiru nodded slowly. Your father made a terrible mistake during a desperate time. Chinasa covered her mouth. Chief Obina finally spoke. My older brother had borrowed money from dangerous people. He used company funds, hoping to return them before anyone noticed. But they noticed, Chief Emeka said. Mama Nkiru held the confession letter. My husband wrote this before he died. Obina found it first. Kelechi turned towards Chief Obina. You knew the truth. Yes. And you blamed my mother. Chief Obina looked ashamed. The company was already failing. If my brother's crime became public, both families would lose everything. Nkiru agreed to take responsibility because she feared you and Chinasa would grow up carrying your father's disgrace. Mama Nkiru looked at her children. I thought I was protecting you. Kelechi shook his head. You protected everyone except yourself. Adaize stepped forward. Daddy, why did you keep calling her a thief after she saved your family? Mrs. Ijoma answered before her husband could. Because the truth would have destroyed us. Adaize looked at her mother. No, the truth would have humbled us. She turned towards the guests. My family built its honor by placing shame on a widow who had already lost everything. Mrs. Ijoma grabbed her arm. Stop speaking. Adaize pulled free. Then she faced Kelechi. I will not ask you to continue this wedding. Several guests gasped. But I will also not stand beside my family and help them hide this again. Chief Obina's eyes widened. Adaeze, think carefully. I am thinking carefully. She removed the diamond necklace her mother had given her and placed it on the table. If protecting our name requires humiliating innocent people, then it is not honor. Her answer shocked the guests. For the first time in her life, Adaeze chose truth, even though it could cost her everything she wanted. But Kelechi still had a choice of his own to make. Kelechi looked at the gold ring Toby had given him to hold before the ceremony. It had been made to match Adaeze's ring. That morning, it had represented the future. Now it felt heavy in his palm. Adaeze stood before him without her veil or necklace. She looked less like the perfect bride from the photographs, and more like the woman he had once loved during quiet evenings after work. But love did not erase what had happened. Kelechi placed the ring on the table. We cannot marry today. Adaeze closed her eyes. Mrs. Ijoma released a breath of frustration, but Adaeze raised her hand before her mother could speak. I understand. Kelechi's voice softened. I still love you. That is what makes this difficult. Adaeze looked at him through her tears. Is there any hope for us? I do not know. It was not the answer she wanted, but it was honest. I need to understand how the woman I planned to marry could look at my mother and see something that needed to be hidden. Adaeze nodded. And I need to understand why I allowed fear to make me cruel. Kelechi looked towards the guests. The wedding is cancelled. The words traveled through the hall like a strong wind. Some guests looked disappointed. Others whispered. A few began gathering their belongings. Mama Nikiru stood. My son, do not make this decision because of me. I am not cancelling the wedding because you were poor, Mama. He took her hand. I am cancelling it because I almost became the kind of man who would watch someone disrespect you and remain silent. Mama Nikiru began to cry. Kelechi held her. For years, she had believed her children needed protection from the truth. Now she understood that silence had only passed the burden from one generation to another. The wedding did not end with vows. It ended with a son finally refusing to build love on shame. When most of the guests had left, only the two families and a few close friends remained. Mama Nkiru sat at a table with Kelechi and Chinasa. She opened the confession letter fully. Their father had written it days before his death. He admitted taking the money. He also wrote that Mama Nkiru had begged him to return it, but he had already lost most of it while trying to pay his debts. He was not an evil man, Mama Nkiru said, but fear made him dishonest. Kelechi listened without interrupting. After he died, Obina came to me, she continued. He said the police would investigate. Your father's name would become known everywhere. You might lose your school place. Chinasa might be treated like the daughter of a criminal. Chief Obina lowered his head. I offered to pay the children's fees if she accepted responsibility. You offered her another kind of prison, Adaeze said. Mama Nkiru nodded. I signed the confession, but Obina promised it would remain private. Chief Emeka looked at him angrily. You told investors she stole the money. Chief Obina's face tightened. I needed a reason for the company's losses. And you used her, Kelechi said. Yes, it was the first time Chief Obina admitted it without defending himself. Mama Nkiru continued. People stopped employing me. Some friends avoided me. That was why I began cooking. Chinasa cried openly. All those years, you let us believe you simply changed careers. I did not want you to hate your father. Kelechi looked at the old letter. I spent my life admiring a man I barely remembered, while feeling embarrassed by the work that saved us. Mama Nkiru touched his face. You were a child. No, Mama. Even as an adult, I allowed people to make you feel small. She shook her head. You came back for me today. Those simple words broke him. Kelechi lowered his head into his mother's hands and cried for everything she had carried alone. The expensive food prepared for hundreds of guests remained untouched. Instead of throwing it away, Mama Nkiru asked the hotel staff to pack it. "Send some to the children's shelter nearby," she said. "Let something good come from today." Adaeze helped her. They worked silently at first, placing rice, meat, and pastries into containers. After several minutes, Adaeze spoke. "I do not expect you to forgive me." Mama Nkiru kept working. "That is good, because forgiveness should not be demanded." Adaeze nodded. "I was more worried about what strangers would think than about how you would feel. You were taught to fear shame. That does not excuse what I did." "No," Mama Nkiru replied, "but it explains where you must begin changing." Across the hall, Chief Obina instructed his lawyer to prepare a written statement clearing Mama Nkiru's name. He also promised to repay what she had lost through the false confession. Mama Nkiru refused his first offer. "You cannot calculate 23 years and place a price on it. What do you want?" he asked. "I want the truth written clearly. I want every person you lied to informed. And I want a scholarship created for widows and their children, not in your name, but in the names of people who carry shame that belongs to someone else." Chief Obina agreed. Mrs. Ijoma remained silent. Her daughter approached her. "Mummy, you taught me that reputation was everything. I wanted to protect you. You taught me to protect appearances, not people." Mrs. Ijoma looked around the empty hall. The flowers, lights, and decorations were still beautiful, but none of them could hide what had happened. She had spent months creating a wedding people would admire. Instead, the day became a lesson none of them would forget. Shame does not always belong to the person wearing simple clothes. Sometimes it belongs to those who believe wealth makes cruelty respectable. 6 months passed. There was no grand wedding, no public reunion, and no easy forgiveness. Kelechi began visiting a counselor. He wanted to understand why he had avoided conflict for so long. Adaeze moved out of her parents' house and started working with a small organization that supported women trying to rebuild their lives after financial hardship. She did not do it to impress Kelechi. For the first time, she was learning to make choices without asking what people would say. Chief Obina publicly cleared Mama Nkiru's name. Some business partners left him after learning the truth. Others stayed, but no longer treated him with the same admiration. Mrs. Ijema apologized privately. Mama Nkiru accepted the apology, but did not pretend they were close. Trust, she explained, needed more than words. One quiet Saturday, Kelechi arrived at his mother's catering shop. Adaeze was already there, helping Chinasa decorate a coconut cake. Kelechi smiled when he saw it. "It looks like the one Mama brought to the wedding." Adaeze nodded. "She is teaching me." Mama Nkiru watched them from the doorway. Kelechi and Adaeze had slowly begun speaking again. They did not return to their relationship because people expected them to. They began again because both had changed enough to speak honestly. Kelechi placed a small box on the table. Adaeze stared at it. He opened the box. Inside was not the old wedding ring. It was a simple silver band. "I am not asking for a wedding today," he said. "I am asking whether we can continue rebuilding." Adaeze's eyes filled with tears. "Yes," she whispered. But this time, no hiding. Months later, they married in Mama Nkiru's small garden. There were no powerful guests, imported flowers, or photographers searching for perfect images. Mama Nkiru sat in the front row, wearing her green lace dress. Before saying his vows, Kelechi looked at Adaeze and said, "Love is not proven when everything looks beautiful. It is proven when telling the truth may cost us our pride." That day, they did not choose love over shame. They chose a love brave enough to face shame and refuse to pass it forward. The end.
My son must have his favorite coconut cake today.